Hey guys, I'm JanetOnOccasion, and today we're playing another Total War Warhammer II Battle Replay. This one was sent in by Aristodemos, and he's playing under some crazy name at the moment, whatever, it's Aristodemos, and he's playing as Bretonnia. He's against a Skaven, which I always think can be quite an interesting matchup. There's just a lot of anarchy, a lot of people running away, a lot of rats running away, a lot of cavalry barreling over rats, and a lot of rat ogres clubbing horses to death. It's all a bit mad, so it's often very interesting. So, as you can see here, Goon Squad, he has the Fey Enchantress. Fey Enchantress is brilliant because you can throw her at some quite cheap rats, and that Mortis Engine effect will really come in handy. Also, Grail Reliquary, kind of important. You don't want all your units getting terrified away, so having that, immunity to psychology with the Grail Reliquary is very nice. Fey Enchantress obviously has some really nice spells at her disposal as well. A Favour of the Fey, giving a huge melee attack buff of 44 to a unit. So, really good utility from her. Also, a Paladin. Nice to have something with anti-large, but also, he just hits so hard. He's very good at just sniping out any of the sort of Lords and Heroes, because none of the Lords and Heroes for Skaven are really great in melee. Not really. So, the Paladin will do well here. And he does also have Guardian, which will add some physical resist, which is very nice to Lords and Heroes. Lovely. Also, Damsel of Beasts, and the reason for her is Transformation of Cadon. So, we got Earth Blood on the Fey Enchantress, along with that Mortis Engine effect, and also that Transformation of Cadon, again, so good for sniping out Lords and Heroes, because they can just pick out Skrulk in a crowd and, dive straight on top of him. It's very, very useful, and you don't really need a lot of armor piercing against Skrulk, and you're obviously going to see Skrulk in a competitive match, because he's the competitive choice. So here you can see plenty of Knights of the Realm. With that anti-large, they can just run down Rat Ogres so fast. That huge charge bonus in the anti-large, they do a wonderful job. Also, there's a load of Foot Squires dotted around. So there's 1, 2, 3, I believe. Yep. 3 groups of Foot Squires. These guys will do great against Storm Vermin. Men-at-Arms will be alright against Clan Rats, fairly even trade there. But there's plenty of Knights Errant in the back as well. There's 3 units of them, so good charges and enough armor to shrug off sort of just simple sort of Clan Rat spear damage. Won't stack up too much if they're cycle charging. Also, there are some Peasant Bowmen. The Peasant Bowmen are useful just against anything, to be honest. I mean, pin down a Doom Wheel, shoot the Doom Wheel, there's a big cart of some description, Plague Furnace or whatever, shoot at that for hours. It's really nice. Or if there's things like Plague Monk Sensor Bearers or scary things like that, you can just kill them very quickly. These very expensive, lightly armored things. So very, very cool army here. There's also some peasants dotted around, but that's that. So here, yep, there are some Plague Priests on the Plague Furnaces. And yeah, these guys, they are immune to psychology, so Transformation of Cadon isn't going to scare them away. But they're very, very good. I mean, they've basically just got Vermintide and the free Pestilent Breath. That's all they've got equipped. Obviously they've got all their little, buffs and debuffs and whatnot, but yeah, pretty stripped down. Not a huge spell selection, I guess. And also Lord Skrulk. Lord Skrulk has pretty much the same thing going for him, except I think he's actually got Pestilent Birth rather than... No, he's got Vermintide. He's just got Vermintide. So yeah, same spell selection again, but he does have obviously the Rod of Corruption, Stand Your Ground. He's got the Liber Bubonicus, obviously, and there are 2 Doom Wheels. So this looks to me like a huge amount of sort of killing power for enemy infantry, but he has so much chaff that every time cavalry comes in, he can summon stuff behind them, get on top of them with the Plague Priest, get that Mortis Engine effect working for them. So it's sort of Mortis Engine effects versus Mortis Engine effects, but obviously Lord Skrulk has plenty amount of damage he can do. So, speeding things up, I mean, it's all just Clan Rats and cheap stuff. All the expense is the Plague Furnaces and the Doom Wheels, and Skrulk, I suppose. So, things are starting to move up. You can see the Plague Claw Catapult. Very nice for dealing with, expensive things like Foot Squires. Well, middlingly expensive, but I don't think they're really needed. I think a Warp Lightning Cannon would have been better here, just because the cavalry, if it's a very heavy cav force, that's going to be more dangerous than the infantry with this kind of army. This kind of army can run over infantry all day, so I don't think there's much need for it. So yeah, I think Warp Lightning Cannon would have helped, because if there's Grail Knights or something, you can just blast them and kill a load of models very quickly. And if you start killing the models, they're not going to be able to heal through any of that, and obviously the magic damage from the Warp Lightning Cannon, or the Plague Claw Catapult, I guess. Yeah, this goes a long way for killing a lot of Grail Knights very quickly. So here you can see plenty of Archfire coming in for this Plague Priest, doing some good damage. Here, Fey Enchantress is getting stuck in with her Foot Squires, and she's only fighting Clan Rat, so she can actually sit here and fight for quite some time. And here, Knights of the Realm are pinning down this Doom Wheel. The Doom Wheel will do some damage in kind, but it is really anti-infantry. But it's taken quite a bit of damage here. Still more archer fire coming in, stopping this Plague Priest really getting involved. But on this side, this flank is going pretty poorly. And here you can see the Doom Wheel is going to start running through these guys, but there's a lot of rats that can start running through. These foot squires getting terrified very quickly because so many summons behind them. It's suddenly very deadly. And you can see here even the Knights of the Realm are really struggling. You know, to things like the Rod of Corruption, it can hurt a lot. Earthblood trying to keep them together, but you can see there's just so many rats, and just things like Plague Priest just break that front line so quickly. This suddenly means that it's pretty much just this flank holding, and everything else is buckling very, very fast. And those Doom Wheels, they're still going. The Plague Priests, they're still going. This one, barely a scratch on him. So it's pretty tough. But you can see the Knights of the Realm, favour of the Fae on them, so they can get that extra melee attack. They really wanted to get on top of this Doom Wheel, but they are getting stopped by these Clan Rat Spears, which is definitely a problem. So they're not maximising that damage. Oh, they're on this Doom Wheel. My bad. My bad. So, yep, another Earthblood trying to keep these guys going, and now Knights Errant are charging in to get rid of these Skaven slaves. Way over here, you can see the Paladin has actually been struggling quite a lot here. I think he might have actually received a Liber Bubonicus, because, saying that, I don't see the... Oh, yeah, there's the Fey Enchantress. She's fine. She's fine. Yep, it's the Paladin that's getting pretty hurt. Skrulk is in melee with him, so that is going to hurt too. But these foot squires and peasant mobs actually managed to get around the back. This is sort of reverse hammer and anvil. There's cavalry on this side and infantry on this side, which is a little unusual. You know, not very typical, but hey, if it works, it works. And Skrulk now is completely sandwiched in. Actually, not completely. He could run off this way if he can get past this Paladin. But Skrulk is in a lot of trouble here. If he can get killed or routed before he can use that second Liber Bubonicus, that's a huge deal. That would be a huge deal. So that's great. So it looks like the Paladin is starting to move out, using Foe Seeker, try and push through quicker, and a load of this infantry is starting to buckle very fast, because that's the thing. You know, both of these armies are really good at dealing with a lot of infantry very quickly. They're both really good at that. You know, there's a ton of cavalry that can just take out a ton of these cheap clan rats on the charge, and then a ton of Doom Wheels and Plague Furnaces that can just roast things, and all of these, what are they called? Pestilent Breath. Just brutal. But these first guys are holding out over here. They're holding out very well. Skrulk, though, being very bullied, he really needs some support quickly, because he's getting murdered to pieces. To be honest, he's getting killed very quickly. Over here, Knights Errant managing to get rid of the Plague Claw Catapult. Over here, Knights of the Realm still cycle charging as much as they can. That Doom Wheel is still going, though. Some of the archers are returning, but yeah, looks like these Knights Errant are keeping these Clan Rat Spears busy, so they're able to keep shooting, and they are starting to whittle down that Plague Priest. But Paladin, he's starting to get a bit more health back thanks to some Earthbloods. Looks like, yep, there's another one. So he's getting a lot of his health back, and Skrulk is now running. He could still return. He could still return, use another Liber Bubonicus on something, but all the Earthbloods are actually keeping the Lords and Heroes happy, because there's not really a lot of hero and Lord killing power in that Skaven army, and that's definitely a problem for it against, you know, this sort of build. So here you can see Plague Priest trying to run away, Paladin hot on its heels, even the Fey Enchantress getting stuck in, everything's getting stuck in. Strangest goon squad ever. You already see a goon squad with a damsel in it, but the damsel has actually been given favour of the Fae, which I'm not sure was intentional. That was probably meant for the Paladin, but hey, if it gets her hitting as well, that's great. I guess the Paladin can hit regardless, because he's got the anti-large. So, yeah, maybe that was intentional. That's an interesting idea, actually. Give it to the one that's got some quite good, you know, sort of attack strength, but not the best melee attack. It's interesting, interesting. I like that. So, over here you can see Doom Wheel, obviously getting rid of all the archers very easily. Doom Wheels are great for that kind of thing. And Skrulk is back, and he is summoning more rats. The Clan Rats can be pushing forward, but the Knights Errant are on the case, so the Knights Errant can charge in, and honestly, just one charge, and I think Skrulk can have had it. I'm not sure he's going to last very well here if he gets charged, but it looks like the Knights Errant are actually after the summons, so they don't get a clean charge on him. So over here, a load of the Men-at-Arms, obviously running away again. Some of the Foot Squires are going, but there's still one unit of Foot Squires. We can see a lot of damage is being done to them now. You know, Plague Priest doesn't have to stick around for too long for infantry to really start suffering, but all these single models don't really have a problem. The Grail Reliquary, the Paladin, Fey Enchantress, Damsel Beast, they're all pretty much fine. Saying that, the Paladin has taken a bit of a beating over the course of the battle, but he's been targeted pretty heavily. So over here you can see Knights Errant running away. Skrulk is actually running away off this way though, trying to get more infantry in, and there's still a lot of infantry. This Plague Furnace still going. More Doom Wheels coming in. They do have that anti-armor, which is nice. More Clan Rats back there. I'm not seeing the other Doom Wheel though. Did that get taken out? It might have done. I think the other one might have got taken out by all the Knights of the Realm. Yeah, there we go. It's over there. So, back to the fight. So you can see a lot of the units are starting to get very whittled down on the side of Bretonnia, but these Foot Squires will definitely help. These Foot Squires will help. And a load of units start to shatter. It looks like army loss is happening. And I think a lot of that is down to the Goon Squad. I think it's just down to the Goon Squad. It's not that they were, you know, killing all the things, but of course they were doing pretty well in terms of killing things. I mean, look at that, 83 kills for the Fey Enchantress, 38 for the Paladin, you know, even 14 for the Damsel. They were all putting some good work in. They were fighting the big stuff for most of it, but they just have so much health. And these two units are quite expensive, and that's going to tip the balance of power a lot, you know, especially when the enemy lord, Skrulk, had only 500 health left. That's suddenly a huge amount of value lost. You know, the Doom Wheel and the Plague Furnaces, they're all low on health. And that's enough to trigger army losses very quickly, especially when you've got a load of cavalry still running around. And, I mean, the Foot Squires are worth 700. That's a big chunk. So, yeah, they just couldn't stick it out, which is a bit of a shame. I would have liked to see them keep fighting a little longer. But, yeah, just keeping valuable units on full health. It can go a long way to making the battle end far sooner. You know, it's not just in terms of, you know, the power that they have left, the fact you can throw them willy-nilly into a fight because they have so much health and it doesn't matter if they take a bit of damage, you know, trying to take out something valuable. No, they're just worth more, and that will affect the balance of power in a huge way. So, yeah, pretty wonderful fight. So, Grand Admiral Thrawn. Okay, he's going with some sort of B-side Star Wars literature there. So, cool. Anyway, I think it's in Rebels. Yeah, I think he's in Rebels. So yeah, that was fun. Guys, if you found it fun, then please do comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one, I guess. Have a good one, guys.